Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. Learning how to start a Korean skincare routine feels overwhelming when you're staring at 10 different bottles at 11 p.m., wondering which one goes first. I'm Sarah Ling-Miller, and after my second kid left me with melasma and exactly zero brain cells for a complicated routine, I spent months figuring out which steps actually matter and which ones are just beauty industry noise. You're tuning in to Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Quick note before we dive in. Everything you're about to hear, the research, the testing, the writing, all human, all verified by real people who actually use this stuff. The voice reading it to you? That's AI. Just wanted to be straight with you about that up front. Now, if you've been listening for a while, I really appreciate you being here. It means a lot that you keep coming back. And if this is your first episode, hey, glad you found us. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so there's always something fresh in the feed. Today, we're tackling something I get asked about constantly: how to actually build a Korean skincare routine that works without turning your bathroom into a chemistry lab or your mornings into a 2-hour ordeal. Let's jump in. Here's the deal. A beginner Korean skincare routine takes 7 to 12 minutes twice daily and costs around $80 to $150 to build from scratch if you're smart about it. You'll learn the actual order, which is based on molecular weight and pH, not marketing. You'll also learn which steps you can skip when you're running late, and the specific active percentages that deliver results without the $200 price tags. This is for the person who wants glass skin, but also needs to be out the door by 6:15 a.m. Let's be real about what works. Starting with what you'll need. The essential products, the non-negotiables, include an oil-based cleanser with 20 to 30% emulsifying oils, a water-based cleanser with a pH between 5.0 and 6.0, a hydrating toner with humectants like glycerin at 3 to 5% or hyaluronic acid at 0.1 to 0.5%, a treatment serum with actives such as niacinamide at 5 to 10%, vitamin C at 10 to 20%, or retinol at 0.25 to 1%, a moisturizer with ceramides and peptides, and a broad-spectrum SPF 50+, PA4+ sunscreen for morning only. Optional but effective additions once you've mastered the basics are a chemical exfoliant with AHA at 5 to 10% or BHA at 1 to 2%, used 2 to 3 times weekly, an essence with fermented ingredients, sheet masks for emergency hydration, and eye cream, though honestly, most moisturizers work fine here. Time commitment breaks down like this. The full routine takes 10 to 12 minutes. An abbreviated routine when you're running late takes 4 to 6 minutes. Products typically last 3 to 4 months at around 30 cents to 80 cents per application. Now, let's talk about step 1, the first cleanse with an oil-based cleanser in the evening only. The first step in how to start a Korean skincare routine is the double cleanse, and here's why it's not just marketing. Oil dissolves oil. Your sunscreen, makeup, and sebum are oil-based, and water alone won't touch them. I use an oil cleanser with 15 to 25% mineral oil or rice bran oil as the base. The Kose Softimos Speedy Cleansing Oil, around $12 for 230 milliliters, manufactured in Japan, contains mineral oil and propylene glycol that emulsify on contact with water, leaving zero residue. Check the link below to see the current price. That's around 16 cents per use for 60 uses. Apply to dry skin. This is crucial. Wet skin dilutes the oil and makes it less effective. Massage for 30 to 60 seconds. I do this while mentally reviewing my morning depositions. Then add a splash of water to emulsify. The oil turns milky white, which means it's grabbing everything off your face. Rinse thoroughly. Time investment, 90 seconds. When to skip? Never skip this in the evening if you wear sunscreen. I don't care how tired you are. Morning, skip it entirely. The Han Skin Cleansing Oil and Blackhead PHA, around $17 for 300 milliliters, adds 0.5% polyhydroxy acid for gentle chemical exfoliation while cleansing.
Check the link below to see the current price. But it can be stripping if your barrier is already compromised, something I learned the hard way during a particularly brutal trial week when my skin felt like sandpaper. Moving on to step 2, the second cleanse with a water-based cleanser. Your water-based cleanser removes the oil cleanser residue and any remaining water-soluble debris. The key specification here is pH 5.0 to 6.0. Anything higher strips your acid mantle and triggers that tight, squeaky feeling that's actually your skin screaming. I rotate between two. The COSRX Low pH Good Morning Gel Cleanser, around $11 for 150 milliliters, pH 5.0 to 6.0, made in Korea, contains 0.5% betaine salicylate, which is a gentle BHA, and tea tree oil. Check the link below to see the current price. At around 18 cents per use for 60 uses, it's the best morning cleanser when I need something quick that won't wreck my barrier before a full day of meetings. For evening, the Beauty of Joseon Green Plum Refreshing Cleanser, around $16 for 100 milliliters, has 24% plum water and 3% mung bean extract that remove impurities without that stripped feeling. Check the link below to see the current price. Slightly pricier, at around 27 cents per use, but the texture is creamy and non-foaming, which matters when your skin is already annoyed from retinol. Application is simple. Use a dime-size amount, lather between wet palms, massage for 30 to 45 seconds, rinse with lukewarm water, not hot. Heat dilates capillaries and can trigger rosacea if you're prone. Time investment, 60 seconds. Morning versus evening, use both AM and PM, but skip the oil cleanse in the morning unless you used a heavy sleeping mask overnight. The one thing that drives me crazy about the COSRX, the pump dispenses way too much product if you're not careful. I've wasted half a bottle by pressing too hard while half asleep at 5:45 a.m. Step 3 is applying a hydrating toner for pH balancing and a humectant layer. This is where Korean skincare diverges from Western routines. Korean toners aren't astringent. They're hydrating prep layers that restore your skin's pH after cleansing and create a damp surface for better absorption of subsequent products. The molecular weight here matters. Look for multiple weights of hyaluronic acid. Low weight at 5 to 50 kilodaltons penetrates. High weight at 1,000 to 1,800 kilodaltons sits on surface and prevents water loss, or look for glycerin at 3 to 5% concentration. I've been using the I'm From Rice toner, around $17 for 150 milliliters, made in Korea, for 2 years. Check the link below to see the current price. It contains 77.78% rice extract from Yeoju, Korea. Yes, they actually specify the region, which tells you about polysaccharide content and efficacy. At around 23 cents per use for 75 uses, it brightened hyperpigmentation from my melasma without any irritation. Application method, and this is not intuitive. Pat, don't wipe. Pour a quarter-sized amount into your palms, press onto damp skin in upward motions. Wait 30 to 60 seconds for absorption. The 7 skin method, applying toner in 7 thin layers, is popular, but frankly unrealistic when you have exactly 8 minutes before the baby wakes up. Alternative, the COSRX Hydrium Watery Toner, around $15 for 150 milliliters, delivers panthenol and 3 molecular weights of hyaluronic acid at around 20 cents per use. Texture is more watery than the rice toner, absorbs in 20 seconds flat, and layers beautifully under serums. The packaging is utilitarian plastic that feels cheap, but the formulation chemistry is solid. Time investment, 60 seconds. When to skip? If you're running late, this is the first step I cut. Your serum will still work, just slightly less efficiently. For more on how these hydrating layers function within a complete moisture barrier strategy, check out What is the Skin Barrier? Understanding Your Moisture Barrier Function, link below. Step 4. Treatment Serum with Active Ingredients. This is where you address your actual skin concerns, hyperpigmentation, fine lines, acne, texture, with concentrated actives. The key to how to start a Korean skincare routine successfully is understanding that you need 1 primary active per routine, not 5. For hyperpigmentation, my personal battle, the Beauty of Joseon Glow Serum, around $15 for 30 milliliters, contains 2% alpha-arbutin and 5% niacinamide in a propolis and rice extract base. Check the link below to see the current price. That's around 50 cents per use for 30 uses. Start with 2 to 3 times weekly, work up to nightly over 4 to 6 weeks. I apply this after toner on bare skin for maximum penetration. Some sources say to buffer with moisturizer first, but dermatological research shows retinol works best on direct contact.
For acne and texture, the CosRx BHA Blackhead Power Liquid, around $17 for 100 milliliters, contains 4% betaine salicylate, equivalent to roughly 2% salicylic acid, but gentler at pH 4 to 5. Check the link below to see the current price. Use this 2 to 3 times weekly maximum in place of your daily serum. At around 34 cents per use for 50 uses, it's absurdly cost-effective, but the watery texture can drip everywhere if you're not careful. I learned this when I accidentally squirted it onto my white blouse before a client meeting. Application: 3 to 4 drops, about a pea-sized amount when combined. Pressed into skin, focusing on areas of concern. Wait 60 to 90 seconds for absorption before moving to the next step. This waiting period is non-negotiable if you're layering multiple actives. pH and penetration depend on it. Time investment: 90 seconds, including wait time. Morning versus evening: vitamin C and niacinamide in AM under sunscreen, retinol in PM only. The ingredient science behind these actives connects to broader bioregenerative skincare principles, especially when you start exploring growth factors and peptide technologies later in your routine evolution. Link below. Step 5. Moisturizer with barrier-supporting ingredients. Your moisturizer needs to do 3 things: occlude to prevent water loss, replenish lipids with ceramides and cholesterol, and provide humectants to attract water. Korean formulations excel here because they layer these functions instead of dumping everything into one heavy cream. The Iliune Ceramide Atto Concentrate Cream, around $18 for 200 milliliters, made in Korea, is my holy grail. Check the link below to see the current price. It contains ceramides in a 3:1:1 ratio with cholesterol and fatty acids, the exact ratio found in healthy skin barrier lipids, according to cosmetic chemistry research. At around 18 cents per use for 100 uses, it's cheaper per ounce than CeraVe. Around $14 for 16 ounces equals 88 cents per ounce versus Iliune at 9 cents per ounce and far more elegant in texture. The formulation includes squalene, shea butter, and panthenol in a gel cream base that absorbs in under 2 minutes without pilling under sunscreen. I use a nickel-sized amount for full face and neck, pressed in with upward motions. Alternative for oily skin: the CosRx Ultra Moisturizing Lotion with birch sap, around $17 for 100 milliliters, delivers hydration through 70% birch sap and hyaluronic acid without any heavy occlusives. Check the link below to see the current price. At around 34 cents per use for 50 uses, it's less cost-effective, but won't break you out if you're acne-prone. Time investment: 60 seconds. When to skip? Never. This is the non-negotiable, even if you do nothing else: cleanse and moisturize. The Iliune tube is massive and awkward to travel with. I've had it explode in my gym bag twice, but the cost per use makes it worth the annoyance. Understanding how these barrier ingredients work together is covered extensively in Barrier First Beauty, the complete guide to skin barrier protection, especially if you're dealing with compromised skin from overexfoliation. Link below. Step 6. Sunscreen. Morning only, non-negotiable. Every dermatologist will tell you this. Sunscreen is the most important step. All the retinol and vitamin C in the world won't matter if you're undoing the work with UV damage daily. Korean sunscreens are formulated with organic filters, which are chemical, that feel nothing like the thick, white zinc oxide formulas we grew up with. Look for SPF 50+, PA 4+. PA4+ blocks 90% of UVA, which causes aging and hyperpigmentation.
Beauty of Joseon, Relief Sun, Rice Plus Probiotics, SPF 50 plus, PA 4 plus, around $16 for 50 milliliters, uses organic filters, including Uvenol A plus and Uvenol T150, with 30% rice extract and fermented grain extracts. Check the link below to see the current price. At around 32 cents per use for 50 uses, you need 1/4 teaspoon for face, closer to 1/3 with neck. It absorbs in 30 seconds, with zero white cast, zero pilling, and a natural finish that works under makeup. Alternative, the COSRX Aloe Soothing Sunscreen SPF 50 plus, PA 3 plus, around $14 for 50 milliliters, is slightly less protective, PA 3 plus versus PA 4 plus, but contains aloe and centella that calm redness. Check the link below to see the current price. Texture is more emollient, which some people love, but I find makes me look shiny by 10 a.m. Application. This is where most people fail. You need 1/4 teaspoon minimum for adequate SPF protection. That's roughly 2 finger lengths of product. Apply as the final step. Wait 15 minutes before sun exposure for filters to bind to skin. Time investment, 90 seconds including application. Reapplication, every 2 hours of sun exposure. Yes, really. I keep a cushioned sunscreen in my car for touch-ups. The pump on the Beauty of Joseon bottle is stiff and requires 2 hands to dispense, which is maddening when you're trying to wrangle a toddler simultaneously. For a deeper dive into Korean SPF formulations and how they compare to Western alternatives, see Korean Skincare on a Budget, Complete Guide to K-Beauty Routines, Ingredients, and Affordable Dupes. Link below. Step 7. Weekly chemical exfoliation, 2 to 3 times weekly. This step replaces your daily treatment serum 2 to 3 times weekly. Chemical exfoliants, AHAs and BHAs, dissolve the bonds between dead skin cells for faster cell turnover and better product penetration. AHAs, glycolic, lactic, mandelic acid, work on the surface for texture, hyperpigmentation, and dullness. BHAs, salicylic acid, betaine salicylate, are oil-soluble and penetrate pores for acne and blackheads. The COSRX AHA BHA Clarifying Treatment Toner, around $17 for 150 milliliters, contains low percentages of both, AHA and BHA around 0.1 to 0.5% each, for daily gentle exfoliation. Check the link below to see the current price. But let's be real, those percentages are too low for significant results. It's a good entry point if you've never used acids, but you'll outgrow it. The Sun by Me AHA BHA PHA 30 Days Miracle Toner, around $16 for 150 milliliters, hits harder with 2% niacinamide, 0.5% salicylic acid, and tea tree in a pH 5.5 formulation. Check the link below to see the current price. Use this 2 to 3 times weekly in place of your treatment serum, not in addition to. At around 21 cents per use for 75 uses, it's cost-effective, but the texture can be stripping if you overdo it. I made that mistake while stressed about a case deadline and ended up with flaky patches around my nose for a week. Application. Apply after cleansing on bare skin, wait 3 to 5 minutes, the pH needs time to work, then continue with toner, serum, moisturizer. Do not use on the same night as retinol. That's a one-way ticket to Irritation City. Time investment, 4 to 5 minutes, including wait time. When to skip? If your skin feels tight, sensitive, or irritated, back off immediately. This is the step that causes the most damage when overdone. If you're dealing with barrier damage from overexfoliation, been there, check out How to Repair a Damaged Skin Barrier in 7 Days for a recovery protocol, link below. Now let's cover some pro tips and common mistakes. The biggest mistake beginners make is starting with every step at once. Your skin needs time to adjust. When figuring out how to start a Korean skincare routine, add 1 new product every 5 to 7 days so you can identify irritation sources. I learned this the hard way when I introduced 5 products simultaneously and ended up with cystic acne that took 3 months to clear. Wait times matter. Though wait 60 seconds between steps isn't beauty guru nonsense. It's about pH adjustment and penetration. Your treatment serum works at pH 4 to 5. Your moisturizer is pH 6 to 7. Slapping them on immediately causes pH buffering that reduces efficacy. That said, when I'm running late, I skip the wait times and accept 80% efficacy rather than missing the step entirely. Layering order is molecular weight, not thickness. Products go thinnest to thickest, smallest molecules to largest. Water, essence, serum, cream, oil. This is why you apply toner, water-based, low molecular weight, before serum, actives in an emulsion, before cream, occlusives and large molecule lipids. Cost per use beats cost per bottle. That $30 serum that lasts 6 months, around 16 cents per use, is cheaper than a $15 serum that's empty in 6 weeks, around 36 cents per use. I track everything in a spreadsheet because I'm that person, but even a rough calculation changes which products make financial sense.
You don't need 10 steps. The original Korean 10-step routine includes essence, ampule, sheet masks, and eye cream, all optional. The core 6 steps, double cleanse, toner, serum, moisturizer, SPF, weekly exfoliant, deliver 90% of the results. Common irritation triggers: combining too many actives, retinol plus AHA plus vitamin C equals angry skin. Using fragrance-heavy products. Fragrance compounds are the top allergen in skincare, and not adjusting for your menstrual cycle. I get sensitized right before my period and have to back off exfoliants entirely. For a complete checklist of products and application order, reference the Korean Skincare Routine Checklist. Every product you need by skin type. Link below. Let's hit some frequently asked questions. How long does it take to see results when you start a Korean skincare routine? You'll see hydration improvements within 3 to 7 days from humectant layers like toner and essence. Your skin will look plumper and less dehydrated. For active ingredient results, hyperpigmentation fading, fine line reduction, acne clearing, expect 6 to 12 weeks of consistent use, because that's how long it takes for full skin cell turnover cycles. The tretinoin I used for melasma took a full 8 weeks before I noticed visible fading, and I wanted to quit at week 5. Don't give up right before the breakthrough. Can I use Korean skincare products with my current retinol or prescription tretinoin? Yes, absolutely. In fact, Korean hydrating toners and barrier repair moisturizers like the Ilion Ceramide Cream work beautifully to buffer tretinoin irritation while maintaining efficacy. Apply your prescription retinoid after toner on slightly damp skin. Wait 5 minutes, then seal with moisturizer. The layering compatibility rules still apply. Separate vitamin C in the morning from retinoids in the evening, and never combine retinoids with AHA, BHA exfoliants on the same night. Link below for more on layering. Is Korean skincare actually better than Western skincare, or just marketing hype? Korean skincare excels at elegant textures, innovative humectant delivery systems, and cost-effective formulations. The cosmetic chemistry behind their fermented ingredients, multiple molecular weight hyaluronic acid, and ceramide ratios is legitimately advanced. Western dermatologist brands like CeraVe and La Roche-Posay have superior clinical research backing and simpler ingredient lists, which matters if you have extremely sensitive skin. The truth is, the best routine combines both: Korean products for hydration and texture, Western actives for targeted treatment when you need heavy-duty results. What's the minimum Korean skincare routine if I only have 5 minutes?
The absolute minimum effective routine is 4 steps: water-based cleanser, treatment serum with actives, moisturizer with ceramides, and SPF 50 plus sunscreen, morning only. That's 4 minutes morning, 3 minutes evening. Skip the oil cleanser if you use a micellar water for makeup removal. Skip the toner entirely, and skip weekly exfoliation until you have bandwidth. You'll still get 70% of the results. I've used this abbreviated version during trial weeks when I'm running on 4 hours of sleep, and it keeps my skin functional. Wrapping up here, learning how to start a Korean skincare routine comes down to 6 core steps: double cleanse in the evening, water-based cleanse, hydrating toner, treatment serum, moisturizer, and SPF 50 plus in the morning. The total setup costs around $80 to $150 and takes 7 to 12 minutes twice daily once you've built up to all steps.
The most important lesson after 2 years of testing hundreds of products between court dates and daycare pickups: consistency beats complexity. A simple 4-step routine you do every day delivers better results than a 10-step routine you do sporadically. Start with cleanse, treat, moisturize, protect. Add layers as your schedule and skin tolerance allow, and track cost per use rather than falling for pretty packaging. You don't need to choose between results and actually sleeping. You just need the right 6 products in the right order. That's it for this episode of Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Really appreciate you spending this time with me today. New episodes come out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you'll always have something waiting. If this episode helped you out, I'd love it if you could leave a 5-star rating and write a quick review. That's honestly how other people find the show, and it makes a real difference in getting this kind of practical, no-nonsense info in front of more people who need it. And go ahead and hit subscribe or follow so you get a ping the second a new episode goes live. Talk soon!